What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the Wiley Show. Listen, I want to give a special shout out to all the producers. But before we get started, hold up. Before we get started, let me make sure it is working with the sound that you all can hear me. So bear with me. I'm going to make sure that you all can hear me. So when you come on in the room, press 1 if you can hear me, because I do not want to do a whole show and the audio not working. So when you come on in the room, make sure you press 1, okay? Woo, let me drink some water. I have been like coughing and all this stuff, and we definitely going to get into it on today. So if y'all can talk about it, if you all can hear me, press 1. So give me a second. Let me make sure the sound is good. Okay. Well, we got a lot of topics to talk about, so we're going to get through them all. Sit back, relax, and at the end of the show, we will open up the phone lines and allow you all to call in. But let us first go to been beaming up on social media. Kelly Price have been reporting missing by her family, and a report came out. I didn't feel worried about it at all because I knew she was going to be found. Couple of minutes, maybe about an hour or so before we went live, TMZ came out and said the lawyer said that she's not missing, that she's getting better or healing from Rona in an undisclosed location. My mind literally went to, where's the comedy in this? I personally believe that she went on and got her some peen, okay, and went on and hugged up with her man and wanted to take a break from her family. Probably her family leeching, probably want some money and coins. And this is why some cases I do not jump on when I'm hearing that somebody missing. Now, it is some cases when people missing, they're actually missing for real. But I did not believe not 1 second that Kelly Price was actually missing. I believe that she was on a D appointment and went on and got that D and went on and tried to recuperate with her man and stuff. It was a YouTuber. And her daughter allegedly was missing, and then people was writing letters. They was calling me, oh, Wiley, can you write a post and say, find her? Then the mom was going all in the hood, banging on doors, screaming at strangers. And I just felt it in my spirit that it was a bunch of bull. And I said, this don't sound right. I don't believe this girl is missing. It was on the news and everything. Fast forward, the girl show up with a bunch of hickeys. She was on an appointment with her man, and she was having all type of love making. And the family came all the way out, said she missing, can't find her. They was screaming, they was harassing just regular people, and to find out the girl was at her man's house getting some good old ping. See, this is why I don't jump on stories like this. So now it's like problems with Kelly Price because her kids don't get along with the boyfriend, and the boyfriend is keeping them away. And I could just say, they have reported this, but they probably leeching off Kelly Price. They probably wanted her to go on the road so they can pay her, so they can ask someone for some coins. Then this family member probably want to get their mortgage paid. This other member probably want to get the rent paid. So it's probably a lot that Kelly Price has to deal with when you're typically one of the only family members that make it out of the hood, make it out of poverty. You become their bank. You become their ATM. So she probably got tired of them calling her, emailing her, Snapchatting her, Facebooking her, and she said, you know what, I'm just about to hide, about to get out of the hospital, and I'm about to go in the woods somewhere in a cabin and just really heal, drink me some tea, and ride on some peen. Because that's one thing about that peen will break through the Rona and make you heal. That's probably one thing what she was doing, drinking hot tea, after rubbing her body down and taking some good old peen, and just that's what it was. So I did not believe that this woman was missing at all, and I'm happy that she's safe and that she's enjoying life. And then we're going to move on. So she have been found, according to her attorney, that she have been found. So we want to say shout out to Kelly Price, and thank you so very much for all the music that you came out with. You are just she's an incredible artist. Number one, I was listening to her music today. She's an awesome artist, and I definitely want to say shout out to her. Okay, Jada Pinkett Smith turned 50 years old. And Toni Braxton, she is so amazing. So I saw the clip where Toni Braxton came out and started singing, her deep voice, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jada, to you. Happy birthday, Jada Pinkett. Happy birthday to you. All right. She had a voice, and I'm like, go ahead, Toni Braxton. Two bald-headed women join life. Okay. Now this picture is old. You know, she have the braids, but they're both bald-headed women. And shout out to the bald-headed women because they're beautiful. You know, I think some women can really rock a bald fade and just really look good. She looks really good with a bald, as well as Toni. So it fits them very well. I think on my 35th birthday, I'm going to shave my head and become bald. So I'm just definitely there, you know, look all bald and all that type of stuff. And I really think that Jada Pinkett Smith have an identity crisis. You know what I'm saying? She at that certain age having a hot flash, and she said, you know what? I'm tired of putting all this on. I'm going to just shave it off. And another thing, you know, once she couldn't ride August Alsina anymore, she said, hey, I'm just about to go ahead on and just get into something else and just shave it all off. So I'm here for it. So congratulations on making it 50 years old. And I don't know what people talk about, but, you know, Jada still don't look like the best Jada. I remember her in the 90s. I'm gonna be honest with you. But she's still good looking, but I can tell that she got a lot of work done to her face. You can tell the stretch, the shots. You can tell all of that in her face, and I definitely see it at all. Like you could definitely tell that she got a lot of work done to herself. So I just want to say shout out to Jada Pinkett Smith and happy birthday. You know, many people don't make it to 50 years, and that's one thing my grandmother used to say. Because I used to, oh grandma, you getting up in age, you're a senior citizen, you need to sit down. She said, boy, if you're not getting old, you dead. So I'm like, okay. And once I got older, I knew exactly what it mean. Like when, you know, if you're not getting older, you're no longer existing, you're no longer living. So I was like, okay, Granny, that was a good thing. So congratulations to, you know, Jada Pinkett Smith on reaching that age of 50. I think that's an awesome age, and she still look like she's in her 40s. So she don't look like an old woman at all. She looks really, really good. But I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on her and Will, because I like her show. Red Table Talk is one of my favorite shows that I like to watch. Okay. All right. So give me a second. Let me move her out the way. All right. Let's go to August. Alsina announced that he's going to retire from music, and I wasn't shocked. August Alsina definitely is the type of person in his music, he's trying to create controversy to sell records. When him and Jada Pinkett Smith was smashing and making all this love, he did a record and it didn't really chart. No, you know, people listen, but it did not really do major numbers. So now he put on his social media, I want to retire from music. This is going to be my last album. I don't think it's going to be like his last album. I just think he say that for we can all rush to the store. But this is the thing, August. You need to make good music. That song that you did with Nicki Minaj, it was just off the chain. You need music to make people listen to it in their car. This generation, we are all stuck on radio-friendly records, records that is TikTok-friendly, records that will get an instant repost. We're not here for this deep R&B. You get really deep in your lyrics, and the average person don't know what the word you're talking about. They're about popping and licking and lapping and doing 1, 2, 3, 4 steps on TikTok, and the song becomes viral and you gets a lot of sales. So that is where we're at right now. So your fans could be like, okay, this record, I could dance to this record, I could do this to this record, you know, hey, you know, I can really do that. And I get all these songs on my TikTok, then they repost it, they do it, and then it started to chart on the Billboard. So that is something that August have to understand. He needs better songwriters. And he needs songwriters that's going to make him records that plays on the radio and that is TikTok friendly in order for him to compete in this industry that we are currently in right now. We are in a fast track 2-minute record, you know, catchy hooks. We're no longer in this era of the 90s where you have these deep R&B records that was hitting you to the heart like there was the big and R&B records with some Punani. We're now into is it a record that I can really bump to? Is it a record I can dance to on my TikTok? That's where we at. So if he actually do that in his next project, he would be successful. If he come out with this deep music about him being sick, that's not sexy. About him raising his nieces, that's not sexy. To the average consumer, they want to have some music to make me want to make love and want to make, you know, because he's a very attractive guy. So you got to give the people what they have them fantasies about. They don't want to have a fantasy about you hooked up in some tubes and a breathing treatment. No, that's not hot. That's not sexy. So he's going to have to make records that is friendly. So I don't know how many August Alsina fans we have in the house right now, but homeboy got to make some records to make you twerk, okay? To make me get up out this chair and just limp and do a good old shake. And most women in here, that's what they like. So when I heard that song when he did with Nicki back in the day, what was the name of that song that he did with Nicki? Hold on one second. What was that song featuring Nicki Minaj? The song was hot. No Love featuring Nicki Minaj. That song was hot. I would like August Alsina to work with either Summer Walker or do a record or do another feature with Erica Banks. Do it with somebody that is hungry, that is going to be an awesome record. So I would love, or just dropped in me. Yes, I'm going to say this. Or do a record with Chloe Bailey. I think she's one of the hottest artists right now. She's on the charts. She's just gaining more momentum on Twitter. Do a record with her, do a duet, and I can see you come back and being one of the leading voices in R&B. But if you're not willing to listen to Wiley advice, you're not gonna sell. Okay, you're gonna have to go to Burger King, get a regular job, and stuff like that. So I will keep you all updated on August's new project, and we will break it down like we did the last album he came out with. Okay, I love you, August. All right, let's bring him up. The View. This is something that I was watching The View, and they were supposed to interview today the vice president, Kamala Harris, all the hosts. So the producer said to Sonny and the other lady that's on there, leave the stage and go backstage. And I'm like, what the world is going on? Why they have to leave the stage and go backstage? Like, what the world's going on? So they interview Kamala Harris. She's not out in the studio. It seems like she was backstage with the Apple headphones in her ear and a mic. And I'm like, what? This is weird. Like, she's in New York. Why is she not in the studio? Fast forward, Joy Behar came out and she said, well, both of them, Sonny and the other lady, the conservative lady, which I really think she's a Democrat, they both tested positive for Rona. So them testing positive for Rona, they are no longer there. And this is the thing. When I was looking at the interview, Joy was sitting there doing all that coughing. My thing is this. I think they rushed to come out and do a show. I think they rush so much to come out and do a show, and this virus is still that prevalent, because I really believe it's airborne. Anyway, that's just my humble opinion about it. Even though they are vaccinated, but still, I believe they rush, and they should have continued to stay at home and continue to do what they did instead of trying to bring all this. So now, all of them, Anna, Joy Behar, Sonny, Whoopi, all of them need to quarantine. And when 50 Cent came on and did an interview maybe a couple of days ago, he was actually hugging each of those hosts. So he needs to self-quarantine. All the guests that came on, they need to self-quarantine and get tested and say at least quarantine for about 14 days. So from my understanding, when I was watching an interview with the vice president, I couldn't really focus because Joy was over there. She was coughing. This woman was having a coughing fit. I don't know if y'all was there. I don't know if y'all heard like how she was coughing, but I'm like, clearly and I'm like, do she got it? Because now when you out there just randomly coughing, I always be like, wear your mask. I run away from you because I'm like, do you got it? Do you got that? Do you got that? Do you got that package bug? Like, if you got that package bug, I don't, no. Get away from me, all that excessive coughing. Soon as, they announced that it's coughing, of course, this is going to be a ratings boost. People are going to see what's going to be next, who's going to be the special guest. Will they all go back to their house and do it? Because it was good quality, right? Way better than the real quality, and way better than Wendy Williams when she was at home. Because they're actually the number one show, the number one daytime show. So I want to see how they're going to operate this, and I'm definitely worried about my Whoopi, because Whoopi Goldberg is one of my favorite actresses ever. Please don't let Whoopi have the Rona. I don't want her to have the Rona. Give it to the rest of them, but don't give it to my Whoopi Goldberg. Not the Whoopi Goldberg that played in the Color Purple. Not Celie. No, 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 no. Not the Whoopi Goldberg that played in Ghost. No. So I hope that she don't have it. And I'm just going to be crystal clear on that, because I'm definitely going to have to take a couple of days off and mourn for her and pray. You know, I'm definitely going to be doing all of that. But we're going to see how this is going to turn out. And we're going to see how this is going to turn out the rest of the week. So we're going to tell if they really have it, because sometimes you could test positive and it could be a false positive, because you got to really go and get retested. So like if you take a rapid test, it's really got to go to the hospital and get one of those type of tests, because it's better than the rapid test, because sometimes you can get a false positive. So that can go on. But we will keep y'all updated. We will keep y'all updated on this. It's the weekend, so on Monday, hopefully we get an update, and I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna talk about it. So shout out to the View. All right, speaking about another daytime show. Why we said this shit in my head? Why is this woman in my head? Anyway, it is drama with Nick Cannon. Apparently, Nick Cannon is pissed at Wendy Williams. Let me tell you why he's pissed. Because his show is about to air on the 27th, this Monday. His season premiere, the Nick Cannon show. And his show comes on behind Wendy. So he feels that his ratings is going to drop dramatically. His ratings is going to drop, or he's going to have low ratings because Wendy is not in the purple chair because they're doing reruns. He feels as though that if she come back on Monday and she get these big ratings, these enormous ratings, they will trickle down to his show, and he will be able to have a lot of ratings as well. But he's upset that now she's not well and that she's not able to do the show, and now he thinks that his show is going to not do good in the ratings. And everybody know when this is your first time, the first season of your show, it's very important to have a first good week, a first good quarter, because how these networks operate. If your show is really low in the ratings, they're going to give you the axe. They're not going to keep you on the air if your show is not bringing in viewership. If it ain't bringing like 2 to 3 million views, they're not going to keep you on the air. Especially, I think he's on Fox, so they're going to want to recuperate their money back with people coming and viewing, especially the 18 to 49-year-old demographic. So I can understand this. It's really sad. If the Wendy Williams show was smart, they should have had a guest host to sit in her chair. And at least for new content, to talk about the Karen Civil stuff, to talk about the Jason Lee stuff, they should have had, in my humble opinion, a guest host to talk about those entities, as well as talk about, Lil Nas X's new album, something that is trending, just to keep the ratings up for Wendy. But now we don't even know. There's been reports that she will not even be back in October 4th, that it may be back in November that she may come back on the show. So we're going to have to see about this. Her team, and I'm thinking about Wendy, they're used to this, but they don't know if she's going to come back in October. I've read somewhere, now this is just all gossip, I read somewhere that she will be coming back in November. This is really sad. Really, really sad. I'm going to pray for Wendy, and I'm praying that she gets off the needle, the coke, the alcohol. I'm going to pray that she gets and that she goes to rehab and get help. I'm even hearing that her son saying, Mom, if you don't get yourself together, I'm not going to come visit you anymore. So out of all that, I'm going to pray for her. Definitely going to pray for her. And I'm going to pray that he can have a successful season, because he's funny. I'm going to have him a DVR his show, and I'm going to watch it, and we're going to come back and we're going to review it, because I want to see how this show going to be. How is he going to do mess? Is he going to do drama? Is he going to do some comedy? I want to see how this show going to be, and I'm going to give it a rating. Soon as it go off the air, I'm going to go live, and I'm going to break down that show and to see how good it's doing. And if it's not doing good, we definitely going to talk about it. Okay? All right. Give me a second. All right. Hold on one second. All right. I want to go to this story about this YouTuber. I don't know if y'all heard about this YouTuber. What's the YouTuber name? Hold on, what's that? Hold on, let me make sure I get his name right. I think it's Hellcat something, right? I think it's Hellcat. what's the YouTuber name? I got his picture up here, and I definitely had his information of what he was charged with, but I want to get the YouTuber. Hold on, let me, because I want to get his charges. Hold on one second, because he was arrested. Okay, let's see. Hold on one second. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm reading. Hold on, because he was charged today. The FBI is involved. Oh, is it Omini? Is it Omini in the Hellcat? Omini. I hope I'm saying this right. Omini in the Hellcat. I believe I'm saying it right. Omini in the Hellcat is a YouTuber that have been arrested and charged for $30 million fraud case. And so he have all these cars, and apparently they was running this scam of having people get some type of cable and watching channels and not really paying for the cable service. They were like cheating and having people to view copyright material without them going through the proper channels. So he's been sued for 30. He's actually been arrested and been indicted on a $30 million digital fraud scheme. And he actually did an interview. Everybody is talking about this. Even the Washington Post talked about it. And they said for close of 2 years has flaunted his glittery jewelry, sizable cars collection to the hundreds of thousands of YouTube followers. Said he knew the day was coming. Who goes by Omi and a Hellcat online even told the local news station that his arrest was 100% a relief because he will finally get his day in court. In November 2019, federal agents raided his home, seizing cars, cameras, and television. He told the YouTube followers, "I'm going to jail for a few years," he said in a video posted after the raid. He has been viewed nearly 2 million times. In an indictment unsealed Tuesday, prosecutors accused him and 2 other associates of stealing copyright material from cable companies and redistributing the content through a streaming service set up and charged customers to use. From March 2016 until about November 2019, Amani Hellcat and his partners earned more than $30 million, money he used to buy large homes, fast cars that he flaunted on social media, prosecutors said. If convicted, he can face a few years if indicted, but whether a maximum of 514 years, prosecutors said. Hellcat has publicly admitted to running a streaming business known as Internet Protocol Television Service, or IPTV, but he has long maintained that he was not doing anything illegal. "I found a loophole, I ran through it, and I did great," he told WTXF in his driveway this week after he was released from jail on a $50,000 bond. Okay? All right. So to me, if he did find a loophole, if there's no law, it's possible that he can get away with this. But the federal, they don't come after you unless they got some strong evidence against you. So his wife or his baby mama, the woman that was there, so they raid the house. She must didn't have on no pants. Now, mind you, she's recording all this, and I'm watching it. She was like, "I don't have any pants. Let me get some pants." So she was digging around the room, and one of the FBI agents was like, "Listen, you can't be doing all this digging. Put your pants on." And he was like, "Grab me some." Then the house had all these clothes. It was like a junky house, right? So all this stuff was going on. I'm like, this is really weird. Like, if he found a loophole, but anytime black folks find a loophole in anything, they're going to try to find a way to make you go down to prison, right? Because it was a movie that oh my gosh, it was on Apple. And maybe y'all know it had, who was in the movie? Oh my gosh. It was about the bank. The name of the movie is The Banker. So these 2 black men were opening up banks, and they had a white man fronting to being an owner, because during that time, during Jim Crow, you can't own no bank as black. Or it's not illegal for you to own a bank, but you won't get nobody to sell your bank because you're black. So what they did, Samuel L. Jackson played the movie. They actually had a white man fronting to be the owner, and they were investing to be able to buy all these properties and buy all these banks. Long story short, the governments got upset that these black men were able to make all of this money, that they found a loophole or find out that it wasn't really against law, and they made sure that they served some prison time. So in this particular case, And I'm just going to be clear with you. This particular case, it seems to me just like when I was watching The Banker. Maybe this African-American man, Omani Hellcat, definitely Omi, I think it said Omi Hellcat. He found a loophole. Y'all know I'm bad with names. Omi Hellcat. Y'all know that you know what I'm trying to say. So he must have found a loophole, but you're black. Not only that you're black, you a big size, plus size black man. And you a plus size black man that is flaunting the jewelry, flaunting the cars, flaunting the houses. And a lot of people in the government don't like us flaunting and finding loopholes. So they're going to do everything in their power to find out how can we take this black man that is getting $30 million, how can we take him down? So they must have found the feds must have found a way, oh, this is how we're going to take him down. Probably not paying taxes. It's probably going to be so much, and they probably will get him for not paying taxes. It will not shock me. They're going to find a way to make an example so they can tell every other black man that that try to get into that business that you're going to get arrested. You're going to go down. Okay. And my thing is this, if you really is helping people, don't flaunt it like that. Be on the down low, But when you flaunt it, you trigger the system. Okay. All right. But anywho, I would definitely, because he would go live. It's like he goes live, he talks about it. And then he was the media. This is so funny. So Mr. Hellcat, when the media show up, so this dude had a nice camera with the mic, with a beautiful stand. So the reporter was like, can you put that down so we can talk? He was like, man, that's a nice stand. It was a nice stand. So what this guy does strategically, he know that most of his assets probably going to be gone, right? But the YouTube, I think, can stay because that income they can't touch because he's not doing anything illegal on his YouTube channel. I think. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm not a lawyer. So he's recording and documenting all of this stuff, telling his fans, he was just in a car telling his fans, and they're contributing, buying shoes, buying merchandise, and all this. So we're going to keep you all updated, and we're going to see if he's actually going to serve some prison time. I don't know if the man going to serve 514 years. That is too excessive and just, I feel like, sad and dishonorable for that man to have to serve some time like that. Now, I can understand 5 years or 6 years probation, but 514, my gosh, 514 years? No, absolutely not. Okay. My gosh. All right. I hope I said his name right. I probably got his name wrong. It's okay. I'm sorry. Oh, now this, I gotta talk about this again. So I know y'all got some people, some fans of him. So y'all make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, call in and give your opinion about it. Do you believe he needs to serve 514 years? Press 1. If you think he should not serve any time, press 2. If you think that he should serve 514 years, press 1. If you think that he should just go away scot-free, press 2. Let me know in the comments how you feel. Share this live. I need y'all to like this video because this next topic is going to trigger you. I understand it's going to trigger you. So sit on down, get ready. When I open the like, this next topic may trigger some people, okay? But I can't get to the next topic until you all hit that like button. Give me a second. I want y'all to hit that like button. Where we at? It's 277 people in the house. Click that like button right now. Wherever you at, you're watching on the TV, do it on your phone. Click it. That helps us in algorithm. Click that like button. All right. Anyway. All right, let's go. Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Let's go. Now I preached this earlier today. And I preached this earlier today. And I'm going to repeat it because there's more people actually watching this live than I did last night. So AJ Johnson is a comedian. He passed away at the age of 50, in his 50s, right? So his wife was upset, and Michael Blackson was upset too. He was like, why y'all ain't donating? And his wife was mad that people weren't donating. And I'm like, hold up. It is not the public responsibility to bury your husband. It is your responsibility to have got him in some life insurance. So you can't get upset if people don't want to go in their purse or their wallet to give because your family did not invest in life insurance. And if you're having health problems, you having things that are going on, get health. Even if you get life insurance, even if you're healthy, get it. It's a great investment. So just in case if you transition, because we all going to transition one day, you don't want your family coming out putting a GoFundMe and have to beg people to give. A GoFundMe is not the replacement of life insurance. I'm going to say it again. A GoFundMe is not the replacement of life insurance. And I'm just keeping it clear. You can't get mad if people don't want to give and, oh, it's fake love. Like, they don't have to give because they talking about, like, girl, why they have him in no life insurance? Why he have no life insurance? He a comedian. Comedians make their money. He should have been had a policy. And then because you think you're going to live forever, you're not going to live forever. I'm not going to live forever. And it's not the responsibility of your celebrity friends. Most of them celebrity friends are this. They're not your friend. Y'all need to stop saying that. My celebrity friend. And when you down and out, do they come visit you? Do they come give you a cold cup of water? Do they come to your house and bring you some soup? Most of them people didn't talk to no AJ Johns for years. Since they was on a Saturday, Friday. They're not his celebrity friend. A true friend, it would have been already paid. Because you'll get on the phone. Is y'all good with the coverage? Do y'all need help paying for the funeral? I already got the check is clear. It's already there. Everything been paid for. If that's really your friend. But most of these celebrities are not really friends. They are associates. They haven't talked to each other in a long time. I was watching Rick James documentary. And, you know, he died from all type of drugs. And all these celebrities was coming out speaking. And I think the daughter or somebody was like, well, I wish all these people was here when he was alive. They're not going to be there while he was alive because they're not his friends. And these people need to understand that. I understand that. When I get on YouTube, none of these YouTubers are my friends. These are associates. They're not my friend. You don't come and check up on me and see how I'm doing on a regular day. Most of us communicate through YouTube. You're just a viewer. An associate. You're not a friend. I put friend on a different type of pedestal. I don't call everybody my friend. So again, to his wife, I felt bad. They raised the money, but you don't need no $20,000 to bury nobody. You can need about a couple of thousand to cremate. You don't need 20 grand. It's like she wanted more money. So she can eat off that and live off. I'm just telling you. So again, if you do not have life insurance, get it. Okay? Get it. That's a good investment for your family and for yourself. And also when you do that, also get a will. Write it down, get a lawyer, like notarize everything good. So if you have any items, if you have a YouTube channel, if you have cameras, if you have a car, if you have a house, if you have books, if you want to give it away, so you can divide it all up. So when you go, it won't be no problems. Everything is the legal way. So it'll be just easy breezy and everything like that. Okay, good investment. I just had to do that. I had to say that. Okay, because somebody need to hear that right now. Give me a second. Okay, hold up. And I just had to say, because some people don't understand that that's the right thing to do. Okay. So tonight, I was watching, of course I was watching Tasha, and everybody wanted to get to hear her side of the story about Karen Civil and, Jason Lee. So I'm hearing this, and plus the thing about, Nicki Minaj and her husband. So she came out and she was critical of Nicki Minaj's husband because, and I agree, and I want to echo this. Your husband have a bad reputation and you have a good reputation. When you marry him, you will get some of that bad reputation sprinkled on you because you become a unit. You become a union. So she was defending Karen. I finally found out today what Karen does. She's a brand getter or brand person to help you walk you in the door to get brand deals. That's what she does. So For me, I'm still confused what he wanted Karen Civil to do, and I'm talking about the Lucas guy. What did he wanted her to do? So I was quite confused about that. But anyhow, she was like, when you run, Tasha was like, if you run a business, you have, bad, sometimes you have bad customer service. But she don't think that she did anything wrong or scammed him at all. So it just was a lot that, she said, but I was clearly listening to Tasha when she was talking about Nicki Minaj and her husband. And of course she said, well, have anybody heard about, what was the name of the man that she said? Mr. Black, because that woman Jennifer is a liar and all this, and I don't want to see the proof on that. Like when people say Mr. Black, I'm waiting on to hear from Mr. Black. I'm waiting on hearing about why she a liar, and also Tasha, I want to see the full record of what Jennifer said just to see if it's true. Because as a commentator, I want to hear the other side if something is fishy about Jennifer. I want to hear the other side and see what do you have. But tonight, I still on the side of Jennifer because I didn't see any evidence or receipt to make me think otherwise. I'm still on the side of that woman. And when it comes to Jason, I'm on his side, if only if she hacked him, right? Because I think that's so dirty. But again, you reap what you sow, because Jason have been the type of person that try to snatch people bags, copyright people materials, because you reap what you sow. So, but in this particular case, I don't think Karen Civil will be canceled because she know how to move and slide through doors that many people try for years, never get through it. She mastered her way how to get through these powerful doors. She got the Charlamagne backing. She got the Tasha K backing. She got the Nicki Minaj backing. She got the Hillary Clinton backing. She got these different type of charities backing. So until somebody else more powerful get to come out and she do it a powerful entity that really can kind of like make you snatch bags. But I don't think in this particular case, because of Jason Lee being the leader of this, or the Mr. Lucas, the rapper, Joyner Lucas, I don't believe that she will be canceled. It have to be some other entity outside of them that will make us do it. I think she was continue to get airtime. She did the Breakfast Club. The woman's still looking nice. She's still doing deals. She's still going on different platforms, still doing interviews and all that. Only thing that's going to do for her podcast is going to increase the subscribers, and that in return more listeners. And then she able to go to advertisers and say, listen, my ratings are up 300%. Do you want to come and advertise on my platform? So again, she's going to be able to make her business. A lot of people that I talk to on Instagram and Snap, on Twitter, they're not feeling sorry for Jason because they said this is Jason karma. A lot of people is not going to feel sorry for him. But the reason why I think that we should also call out this bad behavior, because nobody should be going around hiring hackers to take their stuff. That is illegal. Now, will Jason actually press charges or report this to the proper authorities? Because he can't. The authorities will have to get involved to see if a crime was committed. So until I actually see, a press release from the FBI or a press release from the California State's Attorney or the Attorney General, then I can be like, okay, he's serious about it. But just because you said, hey, I'm doing this legal stuff, I'm going to get involved, until I actually see the authorities involved and doing the investigation, and that's when I know you are serious. Not you just saying it. It was one particular person that said they was going to sue, and they actually sued. And that I know personally is Dr. Larry Reed. This man told me, hey, I'm suing this brother. He lied on me. He's lying on me, so I'm going to sue him. He didn't just say it. He actually served him in his city. He got a legal team in the state where he's suing this blogger for lying on him. And it's a federal defamation lawsuit. So just because you announce that you're going to do it, until you actually get the legal stuff involved and these law enforcement involved, then that's when I know you are serious. Now, the reason why Tasha is dragging Jason, a lot of people are confused by that, but the reason why Tasha is dragging Jason Lee is because Jason Lee came after her on social media, called her a gremlin, talked about her son, talked about her as a mother, talked about her as a black woman. Jason Lee felt some type of way because Tasha took a lot of his former employees and put them on payroll. These women that was not paid, allegedly, she actually offered them checks. And so ever since then, they have been going back and forth on social media and stuff like that. So that's it is what it is. And now you got one of his former employees. She's jumping on YouTube and trying to diss Jason and drag Jason. And was one of the former employees of Hollywood Unlocked. And now she works with Tasha. And I was there listening, getting all the tea. It was some good gossip. I didn't jump on the live because, number one, I'm not going to help and say somebody dealing with underage, whatever, without any evidence or proof. Especially, I'm a part of the LGBT community. I love the LGBT community. I don't think me being a part of this community that he's a part of and to run with a narrative without proof. Because when you do that, you put that to all the people that if you are in the community, you love underage, and that's not the case. So I'm not going to get involved with that. I need to see police report, evidence, a lawyer, a detective. I need to see things in motion, and publications pick it up before I jump on there and just put it out there. Like, come on now. And if you have somebody that say, well, he touched me and I was 14 or 15 or 16, you need to get the authorities involved. It shouldn't even be a blogger. And if you are a true blogger and you really want justice for a victim, you have to encourage them to go to the popo. Okay? You're not going to your YouTube channel, going on Instagram. That ain't helping the victim. So if you really want justice, if you really got any evidence, if you really got any proof that he's doing that, you go to the authorities. I'm being 100% real. You go to the authorities. Now back to Jason. A lot of them former workers said it was just like working on the plantation. It was like working on a plantation. It was working for free. Let's get on that for a second. One particular lady said she had to walk. She was sweating. Her yoni was sweating. Every on her body, she was drenched in sweat. They ordered her to go get a case of water. And sis said that she couldn't drive because she would miss her park, and then she had to pay for another parking, and it was hard with the parking. And they made her go get a case of water, and she had to walk, and she was sweating, and sweat out her makeup. She was sweating out her wig and everything. You know, they were doing all this stuff. So now they're working over there in KB Studios in air conditioning, and they're going out for crab legs, and she's giving them a check on once a month, paying them well, and they're doing a good job. So this is why they over there. And I heard in the grapevine, I just heard rumors that other folks that work over there with Hollywood Unlocked been knocking on Tasha K door, want to work with Tasha K, because word on the street is, some word got out how much money she paying them, that they want to get paid like that. I'm just saying. So we're going to see how this goes. Now, when you look at the algorithm of the Hollywood Unlocked, and you look at all that type of stuff, is it the same like a Tasha K impact? No, I think Hollywood Unlocked don't have the type of numbers like Tasha. You can look at it, you can view it, you can see it. Even his Instagram, some of those posts don't really hit like that. But this is the thing. Reason why brands work with him, reason why advertisers work with him, is because his brand is strong. His brand is financed by Floyd Mayweather. He get the connections with the Rihanna cosign. He get the connection of the Cardi B cosign. So even if your numbers are not on the level of a Tasha or the Shade Room, people will still invest in that platform. They will still go and watch it because he got the connection of the celebrity. He still got a voice in the culture, right? So that's one thing that you can say about him. He is a hustler for his brand. He's on Instagram. He's on he's on iHeart. He's on all these other entities. He's on Bingo. He's on all these other entities to keep the Hollywood Unlocked brand alive. He's one of the only ones that are the face of the brand, that market outside Instagram. And I used to tell Kyle, I'm like, boy, you attractive, you have a beautiful voice, and you should be the face of your brand on YouTube. Do a channel, do interviews, and that can help your brand even grow further. More money come to your brand outside of Instagram, so you could diversify your stuff. So he's really good on that. Regardless of what you feel about it, the man is a hustler because he's outside of Instagram, right? Many people don't know who's the face of the Shade Room. They never, Angie is not the type of person you will see as the face of the Shade Room. But again, the Shade Room is a very strong, one of the leading, if not one of the best black, not the only, I'm not even going to just say black, one of the best media entities in the world. Because look at the connections and the views that they get. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is open it up, the phone lines, but Do he owe Kaya an apology? Yes, he owe Kaya an apology, but he did not hack Kaya. See, you can't put them in the two entities. Now, I can understand if Jason would have got Kaya hacked, they're not going to say, oh, you can bring up Kaya. It's irrelevant bringing up Kaya because what he just did, he just took somebody's name and all that. And the reason why he did it, because he felt disrespected. So you got to put it in context of why he did what he did. Right? I'll just put it in context. She was literally dragging him and using homophobic slurs. So he said, "Hey, I'm gonna clap back at you because I'm gonna do this." And he did a great job, and people bought into that. Kaya could have did that, and people did buy into our brand. But Kaya is a genius at always creating new ideas and stuff like that. So and she have her music. So, but let's be clear. That was the reason why he did what he did, because of that. Now, I never met Karen Civil. I know me. I have reached out to Karen Civil. I reached out to Keita from the Crenshaw district. We reached out to them to get a statement. No response of it at all. So don't worry. I'm not mad at it. I'm not upset. That's how it goes. Many people don't like to look at YouTubers. I understand that. Our numbers are not big like others. I understand that. It don't hurt my feelings, but just know I'll be reaching out. So whenever I make it big and these people come back to the Wiley Show, oh, Wiley, let me come on your show. I'm going to remind you, no, when I was small, you didn't come on my show. You walked over me. So I got a whole list. When I make it big, when you finally want to hit me up and come on, I'm like, no, do you remember this date? Because one thing about emails, it keeps a record of everybody that you reached out to. But just imagine, once we get out like 3 million, 5 million, 10 million subs, and you're going to see all type of people that I used to beg to come on. They're going to be they're going to be requesting to come on, and I will have to, like, most of them turn them down. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not a good look for my platform. We're not equipped to have you on. We're not going to have you on our show. Okay, give me a second. We gonna open these phone lines. Please, when we open up these phone lines, no profanity. Don't get up on here cussing. Another thing, stay on topic, okay? Stay on topic. We talked about a whole lot of stuff today. Oh, hold on. We got one more topic to talk about. Hold up.
Your show now, press 1 to hear important instructions.
Your show is scheduled to start in 28 seconds.
Okay, we got 28 seconds. I believe I can fly. Oh, I can't forget about him. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it. All right, let me stop. All right, give me a second. Let me pull this picture. I forgot about him.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
All right, the number is 646-716-8447. If you're calling in, that is the number. If you're calling in, that is the number. All right, give me a quick second. Hold on, I want to talk about R. Kelly for a second, because I didn't get a chance to say that. It's just a little quick little thing that I'm gonna say. Then we're going to move on from that. But if you're calling in, the number is 646-716-8447. Okay, that is the number. So if you're calling in, oh, man, that's all the way home. That is the number. So if you're going to call in, 646-716-8447 is the number. Moderators, if you can post that in there, you can call in, and that's the number. All right. So R. Kelly now is up to the jury. So everybody named Mama been talking about R. Kelly. He innocent, this and this and this. Now finally it's up to the jury to deliberate. Okay. So I don't know when we're going to get a verdict. I've been checking my phone. I've been refreshing my phone. But I want to know, when would this verdict come out? And I believe he's going to get a guilty verdict. And let me tell you why. Some of the charges will be guilty because a prosecutor did a good job laying out how R. Kelly used and abused these women. I believe some charge he will be guilty of something. It will not be a not guilty on all charges. That ain't going to be this time. He's going to have a guilty on some of those charges. It's going to be guilty. And then also I think he got some cases to deal with back here in Illinois. But I believe some of those charges is going to be guilty. And I don't know which one's going to be guilty. I'm not going to get into that. But you heard it here first on the Wiley Show. Some of them charges, he's going to be a guilty on some of them charges. He's not going to get completely free from these charges. And I'm just being 100% real with you on that. Okay, so it's up to the jury because the prosecutors did an amazing job, and the defense, they did not do a good job at all. And I'm just being 100% real with you. They tried to make him look. They wanted the defense in the closing arguments. He wanted R. Kelly, try to put R. Kelly on the same level as Dr. King. And I'm like, what are you talking about? R. Kelly is not Dr. King. But anywho, okay, it's not really looking too good, okay? I read some transcripts, not really good and stuff like that. I think R. Kelly is definitely going to be not guilty. I mean, guilty on some charges, and he's going to be serving some time. This time, he's not getting away. Okay, we're going to open up these phone lines, okay? Give me a second. Let me put the number on the screen because y'all going to be like, what's the number? What's the number? Hold on, let me put the number on the screen. Give me a second. And I love his music. I was on Clubhouse a couple of nights ago, and they were saying, are you going to counsel R. Kelly? I told the lady, no. What do you mean, no? I said, I'm not going to counsel not listen to his music. Him as a man, he's already been counseled in my book as a man. He did a lot of dirty stuff. But would I still listen to his music? Yes. Do I step round and round? I would still listen to that, okay? I'm going to still listen to that. I'm going to still listen to his music. You are not alone. I'm going to still listen to the music that he wrote. Okay? That's what I'm going to tell you that right now. But as a man, as another black man, what he did was wrong. And in my humble opinion, and I can only say allegedly because he have not been convicted yet. But soon, if he's convicted, then I don't have to say allegedly no more. But let's go to the phone lines. Okay. Do I have that? Hold on one second. Let me get R. Kelly off the screen. All right, R. Kelly, don't drop the soap. Okay. The number is 646-716-8447. That's the number, and you can call in. Okay, let's go to the last four. 4334, you live on the air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
How you doing?
Doing good.
You know what? This is a good show. You brought up a lot of topics, so I'll just be real quick, child. If you funny as hell, sorry, Kelly. But you know what? I'm from Chicago.
Uh-huh.
I haven't stopped listening to R. Kelly, and you know it's crazy how people try to shame you for listening to R. Kelly music. But like, do you think of all the artists out here that did bad things?
Yo, and that's my thing.
R. Kelly the one that being crucified?
Because R. Kelly got caught. He got real sloppy and he got broke. See, the thing about it, the reason why you're not hearing from other people is because they still got money. They still able to pay off their victims and their inner circle. R. Kelly got broke. Money started to dry up. So that's why people is talking. If he still was getting that money and still making those number one hits, they would not be talking. It would not be a case.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but it is like artists, directors, sports athletes that have done bad things and been convicted. But it's like if you say you listen to R. Kelly, you know, people want to shame you, but whatever. He made some good music. I mean, come on. I still listen to him.
Oh, facts. Were you from Chicago, too? So I'm from Chicago as well, so I ain't going to never cancel his music. We from Chi-Town. We love R. Kelly's music.
That sounds, yeah. Yes. I mean, I can, you know, distinguish between the man and the music. Okay, he's an effed up individual, but the music is the music. I still listen to it. People listen to it at barbecues. You know how it is in Chicago. Everybody barbecuing. And you going to play Step in the Name of Love. You going to hear that. So
yeah, go ahead. What else you want to talk about?
I wanted to speak on a couple of things.
Okay.
We went over so many things, Chad.
Yes.
Let me see. Oh, like I almost forgot. Okay, we talked about Alsina. I think he's talented, but nobody cares that he's retiring. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that PR behind him. You know, it seems like nowadays you need like a popular girlfriend to get you popping. You know what I'm saying? Like a Like what Ari did for Moneybagg Yo. Even though Moneybagg had his own thing, but once they got together, they created like all this publicity, and people want to know what's going on in their relationship. August Alsina, he don't got that. He got to get a poppy girlfriend. Unfortunately, I think to at least get something started.
I think he should date. I think he should.
cares
I think he
if
should
he's retired.
co-sign and date like Chloe. That's another good point because female rappers. That's one of the things that they say about female rappers that you have to have a co-sign to make it. I think he should date Chloe. He needs to date somebody that's in the business to really, really get him. And then also, August needs to start doing interviews. He's too attractive just to be hidden and and not in the media eye. He needs to start doing shows, a podcast, TikTok. He needs to show people because if he starts showing his nieces and really start showing him being a father to his nieces, that will bring a lot of women to say, hey, I'm going to support this brother because he's taking care of people that's not even his kids. He's taking care of his niece. So I think he should do more. You just can't sit at home and expect people to rush to buy your music. We're not in that time no more. You actually got to be active on social media.
Exactly. It's a different time. You just can't just sit back and expect people to be interested in you. Unfortunately, it's not all about talent. Just because you can sing, it's a lot of people who can sing. People want somebody they can invest in. Like you said, they can watch their Instagram or see what they're doing. Because, people just damn nosy, period.
Right.
But if you ain't showing us nothing, it's like, okay.
Because let's go back to Chloe, right? What did Chloe do? She would start doing remixes or she start doing songs, start singing these songs, right? Like a karaoke in her voice. And what did she do after she got all that attention? She dropped her single. And now the single is doing well on the charts. Have Mercy is doing really well. But what did Chloe? She was very active on social media, on Instagram. So that's something that August got to be doing.
Yeah, and that's what anybody has to do who wants to be successful in this business, So, yeah, he can take a page out of her book. Another thing you mentioned, as far as black folks especially, us getting life insurance at GoFundMe is not an insurance policy.
Yes, it's not. It's not.
I take that very seriously. And, yeah, this is something we have to do. I mean, for the amount to get an insurance policy, it's almost nothing. On a monthly, paying it on a monthly, you can get some type of policy. Because what people got to understand is that if you pass away, and especially if you have children, you're leaving them with debt instead of leaving them better off. The reason I say that, my mother passed away suddenly. She was young, and that devastated me. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't. I was just in my grief and trying to heal. But the one thing she did was made sure that she had a good enough policy. So the one thing I didn't have to worry about was money. She had a retirement account set up. She had life insurance. She had all these things. So while I was in the brunt of my grief, the one thing I did not have to worry about, how I'm going to bury her, how I'm going to pay the bills, how I'm going to pay the mortgage, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that. That was the least thing that was on my mind because she did it the correct way. So I do want people to understand, especially you all out there that's listening and got children, do not leave them in a worse predicament than when you were here. And you got to understand your children are going to grieve too. A lot of people, they don't have a choice. If let's say a parent died or a husband or wife died, whatever, they got to get up and go to work because there's no money.
Right.
And doing that on top of grief.
It's sad. It's
that's a lot.
It's really sad when you grieving and you got to beg to bury your loved one so you don't have it. This is why we have to preach that to our loved ones to invest in life insurance because it's not that much. The younger you get it, the less, the cheaper it is.
It's not much at all.
Mm-mm.
And then also, people need time to heal. Just because you can go back to work, or have to go back to work, don't mean that you should. I took off like 6 months just to get my time to get, to where I was strong enough to go to work. So, and you have to settle their business, pay out whatever bills or whatever. whatever you have to do, it's a lot. So people with children, especially, please get a life insurance policy. But the one thing about AJ White, now it would be different. Like if AJ Johnson, if he was out here, flossing like, oh, I got a big house, I got these cars or something. We didn't see him. We haven't seen him for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I wouldn't feel bad helping somebody like that. It's the ones who out here, showboating, and then you pass away and your family is out here begging.
Right, facts. But another thing to the AJs that are doing comedy, making money, you got to make sure you invest in yourself by getting a life insurance policy and having a will. That's the correct thing to do as a good money managed investment decision, in my humble opinion, because you can't be going around doing comedy, making money, and not putting money away for your family, and just in case you getting, have a retirement plan as well. So we have to preach getting life insurance, because that's definitely needed in our community. Because a lot of people think, let me just get a GoFundMe, and that's not the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause in that case, I hate to see it. I hate to see those. I have myself given to people GoFundMes, but I hate to see it. I don't know what that brother was doing at the latter part of his life or what happened with his money. We don't know. He kind of just disappeared. But, yeah, and then when you in show business like that, like they don't have insurance plans and retirement plans. Like when you're an actor or a comedian, I guess, like for my job, even without paying anything extra, they give you a $20,000 policy if you pass away while you're still working. They don't have that. Like with the stuff he was doing, freelancing, he'd be in a movie here, do a stand-up there. But, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that he died without any money for his family to bury him. And, who knows what financial position they are in. But I do think that actors, like I did hear Masterpiece say that he would contribute or just pay for the funeral outright.
I know, because they raised the money. I think they raised like 20,000 already.
Well, yeah, and then what people got to understand is, when someone passes away, expenses are not just the funeral, and so that's why I would give, to somebody like that, because you got to pay whatever bills they have, especially if you're a wife. Like if your parent dies, you don't have to pay their bills, like credit card bills and stuff like that. But if you're married to somebody, you have to pay their debt. Their debt is your debt. So the fact that his wife is in this financial cul-de-sac right now, I think it's unfortunate.
Facts. We definitely don't say about that. You're right about it. Yeah.
The last thing, Tasha K, child, when she was talking about Nicki Minaj and Karen Civil, I was just looking at my TV screen. I'm like, Tasha K, you full of ass. You full of ass. What she had to say? Because she kept on going with this, SA happened 30 years ago, like, just get over it. Like, she don't want to see them together or something like that. It was like, girls, that has nothing to do with it. The reason that all of this stuff came up was not because this girl was going around running her mouth. She didn't want to bring no attention to herself. It was the harassment, like she said. So she keep on saying this happened 30 years ago. The harassment didn't. The harassment happened after he got married to Nicki Minaj and figured out, being a felon and having to register as an SA, it's certain things I'm not going to be able to do. And so if we can get her to recant, then, it'll make it better for me. That's recent. That has nothing to do with the assault. I mean, yeah, he did his time for that, But you can't tell a victim how long it takes for them to get over something, even if it was 30 days ago or 300 years, child. She get over her time, but this is not what that's about. Her issue is not about the actual assault. It's about the actual harassment. So when she kept bringing that up, I'm like, girl, sit down. Shut up. And then my last thing with Karen Civil, she had Jason and Tasha was just like, oh well, basically like, just wrote it off, like, let it go or whatever. It's like, Tasha, if somebody got your YouTube taken down with the amount of revenue that she bring in, oh, she would be highly upset. If you cause me to lose $5, I'm going to go after you. I don't care. So I just thought that was kind of crazy. Like, girl, what are you talking about?
I hear you right there. I think that a lot of times, and I said this before, that Nicki will get defended because we're talking about another powerful entity. So I think that Tasha knew the backlash that she got by not covering the story, by the tweets that she sent out. So she tried her best to be critical, but yet take up for Nicki. And it's kind of hard to be neutral in that, because sometimes you can't be neutral. Sometimes you gotta pick a side. Some topics or some situations is like that. So I think she tried to be neutral in it, because she was a little critical of the husband marrying Nicki and stuff like that. So she was a little critical of that, but then she was like, the lady is, then she's trying to throw Jennifer under the bus. So what she's trying to do is she's trying to satisfy her base that want her to criticize, is, that her base that are victims that want, all about victim rights. She's trying to satisfy that base, but then she also trying to satisfy the Barbs, but not, criticizing Nicki, because she know they will unsubscribe, they won't watch, they'll dumb down the video, and she's trying to get to her 1 million. So it's a very strategic move on Tasha not to mess up a strong base of her support. She have a strong base by the Barbs. The Barbs are very strong, but their loyalty is with Nicki.
Yeah, I agree. She tried to throw a little shade in there. I'm like, girl, stop. But anyway, thank you for listening to me, Wiley. I know you got people waiting to talk to you.
All right,
but,
thank you.
Good show, and you have a good night.
Thank you so very much. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, yeah, bye-bye. Tasha said, quote, I did not get no backlash. Well, I disagree. What I mean by backlash, I'm looking at different comments. I'm in the streets. I'm looking at different threads and different stuff like that. You may not have like a major backlash, but it was certain type of backlash that she received. Now, because many people wanted her to come out and make a statement that particular day, but she waited to Friday, which is cool. But I understand it's a very strategic move for Tasha to defend Nicki and to defend her. I understand and I get it. But in this case, Jennifer is just very credible, in my humble opinion, unless we get some new information that says she's not credible. Then if we get that, and if Tasha drop a major receipt that Jennifer was just lying, that she's not credible, then I come out and say, oh, we got some updated information. But as of right now, I believe in my heart of hearts that this woman is a victim of not only of the assault, a victim of harassment and stuff like that. Now, this person that was representing Nicki Minaj, if it's any evidence and proof that they gave him the number to speak on their behalf, that's going to help this case. And we have to understand, civil is different than criminal, in my humble opinion, and in the legal opinion, because the burden of proof in civil is different than criminal, right? This whole thing with Cardi B and Tasha is not criminal, it's civil. So you already know the burden of proof is totally different. But one thing about civil, we'll be hearing some type of evidence, and that could easily transition into criminal. So we're going to see how this is going to go. I want to see how this is going to actually go doing this case. And I'm definitely going to cover this case. This case is definitely going to really bring a lot of eyeballs and ears to it, but I do believe Nicki's going to settle. I don't believe this will go to court and just really end up in a nasty trial, because again, it would keep reminding people about her husband and what her husband did to this woman. I believe she's gonna write a check, and it will not be no $20,000. That's what it will not be $20,000 for this. So that's what I want to say in humble opinion. I don't have a link. I only have the call-in number. I don't have the link for this. Unfortunately, I don't have the link, so Tasha can call in. I don't have the link. This is not a link to show today. So I give her the number if she want to call in. So give me a second. 646-716-8447. Yeah, so if she want to call in, she can call in. Now, we don't have a link. I don't know how to do the link thing yet. But yeah, that's just my humble opinion. That's my humble opinion. Yeah, Nicki's gonna settle. She's gonna settle. And she's a whole lot of stuff that she settled. She settled for a man that committed a crime. Not only that, he committed another crime, and then he committed like 3 crimes. One was assault. Back in the 90s, another one was a manslaughter, and another one was not registered. So he committed like 3 crimes. So the new part of this, him not registering and then reopening up that womb, and then these are celebrities. These are not regular people. He's connected. He's a regular guy that's connected to a celebrity. So give me a second. We open up the phone lines, 646-716-8447. Make sure you like the video. All right, we got 2 callers here. Let's go. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
So I just wanted to comment on the Nicki Minaj stuff and primarily on Tasha's feedback tonight. What I wanted to say was that oh, hello?
I'm listening. Hello.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought something went wrong. But what I wanted to say was I think Tasha did very good in kind of looking at it from a business perspective, right? I think you can't separate love sometimes. I think Nicki moved too fast, too quickly with this man. She thought she knew him from back in the day. She probably really didn't know his character and personality too well, but once you're in, you're in. And she has a child with him. And sometimes you can't separate love, but you can, for business purposes, separate the marriage part. Nicki's biggest mistake with this man, like he committed his crime and then he failed to register. So he's continuing to add to the crime he did years ago. He went to jail, but still he didn't comply with his release agreement. So Nicki's biggest mistake was even making a comment about it early on. Just at her level, saying anything sparked this all off because the victim, she was triggered by it, as we all know. And that's just how all of this got started. And so I think I was a little bit mad at Tasha a couple days ago when she was posting, about, oh, we'll drag people. I felt like she was going hard on the victim, but her commentary tonight was really more from a business perspective. And I thought that was pretty fair. Like, you came in this deep, now you got to, maybe she does need to paperwork-wise divorce and just start getting counsel from her team. The other thing is this guy Black. I think he needs to come on your show and he needs to play the tapes.
Yes, because I'm like, play the tape. See, the thing about this Mr. Black person, don't tangle a receipt. Play the damn receipt, right? If you got a receipt and it's going to discredit Jennifer, I want to hear that receipt. I don't want you sitting on that receipt. I want to hear it. So if Mr. Black in the pushes, where's this receipt? Because with the thing that Tasha posted, it wasn't nothing. When she posted on her Instagram, it wasn't hidden. It wasn't, in my humble opinion, was not a receipt. It was just Jennifer talking, but she wasn't saying nothing that was like, oh, we got her. I need that gotcha moment. Where is the receipt?
Yep, and if he recorded it and he's claiming he has that whole entire conversation where they were conspiring together to get that money, then he needs to play it on your show, and Tasha also needs to drop his Instagram like she said she would, so we could all evaluate him ourselves. But yeah, if he got so much to say to her, why can't he have so much to say out here? Why don't we know anything else about him? But I don't know. I hope he calls in. He will clear the air.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. Thank you. Good night. So I'm going to put our picture back up here because I think we have not an exclusive, but an update. So give me a second. Where do our picture? Okay. Have an update on Kelly Price. A little update. According to Dr. Larry Reed Live, Kelly Price called into the Dr. Larry Reed show, and she claims that they still have not heard or seen Kelly Price. To do not believe the attorney. This is getting messy. So I'm asking you guys to pray. I do believe she have been found, and I do believe that sister just wants some money. But we will keep you all updated on this case. I have not changed my position. I believe this lady is somewhere in the cabin getting her best life, living her best life. But the sister called in to Dr. Larry Reed's show, and she said that she have not heard from Kelly Price and do not, quote, do not believe the attorney. All right? We're going to move on to the next topic. I mean, the next caller. Wow, this is a mess. We're gonna see how this is gonna turn out. This is a hot mess. Okay, let me see. All right, I think we got 9867. Caller, you on air?
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Hey, Wiley and Chad. This is the voice of New York. So, a couple of things I just want to highlight. With the AJ Johnson and not having life insurance, I think that's a piss poor responsibility on the family, especially if you're a big celebrity. Everyone knows they're going to pass away. So I'm pretty shocked that he left the burden on his family, especially his wife, and then his wife expecting people to assist of them being lackadaisical of their poor planning skills. Like, I think that's very shameful for them to assume that, oh, because I know you, I should pay for your funeral arrangement. The thing is, what were you doing with your money when you were making these type of cash? Like, I don't get it. Like, you just let your husband y'all didn't have any conversation on how the burial will go, like how everything will work out. Like, what did you do? I just don't think the public should feel guilty in donating if they don't feel like it. Neither should other celebrities. Should be coming from the goodness of their hearts. With that, I also think that Omnicat or whatever you mentioned should go to jail. I think you mentioned that. I didn't watch the Tasha K live video, so I don't know what exactly she said, but based on the conversations that I'm hearing through what you stated and what other people are stating, she took like a more diplomatic way to respond to Nicki Minaj thing. And I just want to know, like, I did see the rewind of videos when Tasha K did talk negatively about Nicki Minaj's husband, as she should, right? But then after the call that when she was supposed to be on Queen Radio or whatever happened, all of a sudden, like, all those things that Nicki did is kind of like being pacified from Tasha K, right? And I'm still in wino. I still support her because it was all business. But we have to also make sure that Nicki takes accountability and responsibility for who she selected. Nicki went to her old hood at a turkey drive-off to pick up this bum, okay? So let's not act like she didn't know. I feel like this is not something in which, I don't know if everyone knows about the movie or the real life story of the girl trapped in the basement where the father or the husband actually captured and put his daughter down the basement for over 24 years and the wife had no idea. This is not the type of scenario. This is someone who knows of his past, who knew of his past, and then tried to magically erase it because of who she is. This is completely different. She decided to go to this guy. She decided to make him go there and impregnate her and trying to disappear of his record. She's the one that knows this. Like, you just can't pretend like she's in La La World. She's literally in La La World. Like, this is not the Matrix. She need to come out of Inception. Okay, because clearly she's in dreamland, and I feel like we need to hold her accountable. And I think we also need to separate Nicki Minaj from Onika. This is Onika that's doing all this. This is Onika who's doing this. Like, you can't think, oh, Nicki. No, this is Onika, and this is how she thinks. And we need to stop equating this love thing, right? Yeah, there are a lot of people who wish. I mean, I love Morris Chestnut, right? I know I could never be with him, but that is like my active crush, right? Like, I gotta be a reality. Like, okay, he's married, blah blah blah. So I think at the end of the day, there are a lot of people who think they're in love with someone or whatever, but it's bigger than love. It's about the name. It's about what y'all can build. He can't build with her. He can't build with her. He has nothing to build up. She is literally his Build-A-Bear, okay, from start to finish. So I'm kind of disappointed in Tasha K of her not going in because I'm sure, Wally, you know this as well. If this was Cardi B, baby, Tasha K will find a way to interview Culture herself. Like, she would have interviewed the maid, the nanny, the babysitter. But for Nicki Minaj, I don't see that same energy. And I think it's the energy I'm missing because I know Tasha K could definitely give her input. And I was actually looking forward to her input. I look at Impressive Channel, Lovely T, Armand, yours, everyone the black bloggers, I'm waiting for them to go in because this is a big problem. And my last comment is with this Jason Lee stuff, right? I think you mentioned that he was basically doing adult labor or adult child labor, with his employees. I saw the Jason Lee's interview, or show, when he talked with his two co-hosts. And honestly, hello, Wiley. I don't feel like I'm talking to myself.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I want to make sure you're still breathing. I'm like, Wiley's still there? I'll make sure the call didn't drop. I know I talk too much. So I'm going to end it with this. But yeah, like, I feel like when I watched when Justin Lee today had his own little podcast, whatever like that, honestly, his co-hosts are not needed. Because everything, like, when you see, like, Jason Lee was just rambling, and then they zoom on to his co-host and they say little comments, but it's not on them, it's on Jason. It's like they're an extension. It's like an appendix. Like, the appendix is there, but what it's used for. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't really need them. So it's kind of like, I don't understand why he had these co-hosts. I don't even know what happened with his other previous co-hosts, with Melissa Ford and all of them. But I feel like, yeah, I can see, Jason Lee talk about building, but he also did shady tactics himself. He's just mad that he got sunned the way Nicki sunned him. That's why he's mad. Like, he got sunned, but I'm not going to say Karen wasn't guilty in what she did.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Wally.
Thank you. And
go ahead.
I think, like, for Jason Lee podcast, it's Jason Lee show. He have a very dominant personality. He likes to talk, and it's kind of hard for his co-hosts to really speak and give their opinion. Like, I stopped watching because I like to hear what DJ Damage have to say or what Blue have to say, but sometimes he dominates the conversation so much that they're used to it, so they just give 1, 2, 3 words. But majority of the talking is Jason Lee.
Precisely. And also, why the chat saying they revoking my card? SQ, why you revoking my bar card? Like I can still be a barb, but also tell when Nicki is wrong. She's wrong. We didn't stop pacifying a grown woman who's almost 40. Like, she's not like she's talking about we all her sons, but yeah, we treating her like she's our stepson. Like, we babying her. She goes through the mother of everything, and as a mother or whatever, you take responsibility for your adult reaction. And that's what she did. I'm not biased. I'm being honest. Like, Nicki messed up. She knows she messed up. That's why she's trying to cause a distraction with all her pictures online. You know what I want to hear? I want to hear Kenneth Penny come forward. I want Kenneth, if Kenneth really cared about his wife, like, truly and honestly, he would do an exclusive, hopefully with the Wiley Show, but do an exclusive where he say, do not attack my wife. This is not involving my wife. This is all on me. See, a real man will step up for his queen. Okay? Don't let her go down the crown because she has more to lose than you. Like, this is your saving grace. And I'm lying, Wiley, this is his saving grace. Like, this is your bad.
Fact.
Because if anything, I would divorce him. He got nothing to lose. So he better go all like, you want to have, and at least have some dignity. Have some dignity. I would have been like, listen, y'all coming out my wife a little bit too hard. My wife had nothing to do with it. This is about me. You know, at least I will respect his gangster if he's that gangster. I'm like, you know what? He may be a trash man, but at least he's trying to act like an alpha man to protect his queen. But no, just like in chess, you see the queen is on the mat, and she's moving all the positions to protect a king that can only go but so many directions. Those who play chess know that the queen has more moves than the king can ever make. So it's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? He's a goofball, and that's why I call him a bum. But thank you so much, Wally. I don't want to take up all the time with the callers that's probably behind me.
Well, thank you so very much for calling in.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so very much. Wow. The number is 646-716-8447. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of stuff to say about Kenneth Petty and Nicki. This is going to be, we're going to be talking about this probably for a while because we don't know what's going to be the next step legally on Jennifer's part and with our attorney. So we're going to see how this is going to operate. Nicki Minaj did post a picture. She looked highly stressed out. When I saw the picture, I was like, oh, my God, she just needs to look like she need a good nap and some good rest. But it's kind of hard to rest when you're being dragged all over social media and they're talking about your husband, the one that you land next to every night. But, again, the reason why I came out was so critical of this because Nicki was commenting on this. Nicki is a part of this, and she should have just stayed silent. And I said this in numerous shows, and I want to say it again tonight. She should never say anything negative about Jennifer on her social media. And then her husband should have registered. If all that would have happened, wouldn't be no conversation about Nicki and a lawsuit in the real. That wouldn't have been nowhere near a conversation. So I want to thank you all so very much for listening, tuning into the show. And you can follow me on Twitter at Wiley Show. You also can follow me on Instagram at Wiley Show. And also, too, we're going to do a after show on Station Head. If you're on Station Head, we're going to do after show on Station. So give me a second. Let me get the title together so I can drop the link because we haven't done an after show in a while. But I feel like doing an after show on Station Head. So give me a second. That will be, what's the day? 24th. All right, let me do this. Okay. All right, give me a second. Hold on. All right. Give me a second. I'm going to drop the link up in here. Okay, we got another caller, 2448. Caller, you on air. Hello?
Hey, Wiley, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Y'all better call in. Y'all be calling in late. Go ahead.
I just wanted to comment on the view because I know you touched on it a little bit.
Yes, I did. Go ahead.
And I just wanted to say I think the whole thing was staged because VP Harris was on the show, and with all of this, with the story with the with the Haitians at the border, I don't think she really wanted to address it, or this was their way of allowing her to bypass that whole conversation, because Sonny and Anna Navarro, they're the ones that usually ask the tougher questions.
Uh-huh.
So after they get them out of the way, then all of a sudden she comes on, via Skype or whatever it is from another room. And I don't even think she went into the whole Haitians at the border, even though that's the main question people wanted to ask.
Well, they did address that, and she talked about it on there, and they talked about it. But again, VP Harris is not the president, and I think people require so much of her. The vice president do not have any power. They only have a power to break a tie in the Senate, or if Joe Biden found to be incompetent or can't commit to his duties, then she could become president. But Vice President Harris do not have no power, really.
She does. Well, I agree with you on that, but she does have the power or the authority where the president appoints her. So since he appointed her to the whole immigration and being in charge of the immigrants at the border, because even before the Haitians, it was the Mexicans at the border. That is what she's supposed to be focusing on, because she went to Cuba, she did all these other things to, I guess, play her role. But I hear what you're saying in terms of she don't.
Yeah,
because
my thing is this:
her
she can't go against the policy of the administration. This is something where I want to see President Joe Biden come out and do an interview, and we get his response, because he is the most powerful person in that position. This policy with the Haitians go all the way back to President Carter. So this is nothing new. This is an American policy, so we need to speak to the American president. And bringing Kamala Harris up just to speak to black folks, thinking that we just going to not be so happy because she's the first black woman, them days are over. We are more wiser now. We want to speak to the man that write the checks, that make the decisions,
right.
And that is President Joe Biden. So he need to come on out and do interviews. But Vice President Harris, anytime it's a black issue, bring her on TV. Let's let her talk. But no, she's not the president.
Yeah.
and she damn sure not gonna keep the same energy that she kept when she was a candidate, because she was going all in about supporting immigrants or migrants that comes to this country. But she's the vice president, and she can't go against the president. Why? Because she'll lose all power. Like let's not be dumb here. She's a politician, and she's not going to go on there and say, well, you know what? We need to have people to come to this country and get asylum. She can't say that without Biden saying it first. Like,
that's true.
I
hear you on that. I just think that's why I think it was staged. I think it was staged to throw her off. I don't think I saw that portion, so I'll have to go back and check. But I was thinking it because she was coming on the show, and I was like, but I know that if Sonny or the other lady.
Oh yeah, they would ask. It would have
been. I wouldn't have. I think it would have been a tougher.
It would have been way
interview for
tougher
her.
because not Joy. What was the other lady name? The prosecutor. I forgot her name. Child. But she's
Sonny.
Sonny is a prosecutor. So she would have been. It would have been a
Correct.
prosecutor versus another prosecutor. It would have been a good TV moment.
Right.
You know, it would have been a tough TV moment because you know. So
Right.
she got a pass, but it did. But one thing I can say is that they are applying pressure to the administration. I will tell you that. I mean, Reverend Al, Tamika Mallory, it's been people going to the border, so they're making sure that we apply pressure to this administration. So that's a good thing. That's why you seeing Kamala Harris coming out, because pressure is being applied to the administration. And then you got to understand, folks, the midterm election is next year. So they got to get it together if they want Democrats to control the House and continue to control the Senate. If they don't get it together, they're going to lose both houses.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think they should. I think people should apply pressure, because I know I have, because they was applying pressure trying to get in, telling us, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that.
Facts.
So, so if you put all that pressure on everybody to get out to vote, and you have people waiting in line for hours, then okay, now you got to work for it. So I think it's a good thing they're getting a little pressure now. So.
Yep. Well, we thank you so very much for calling in.
All right.
Love you.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. Okay. Anonymous, you live on air.
Hi, Wiley. How are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
Awesome. I'm doing great.
Good.
So, I just want to speak on some of the topics that you were speaking about. Regarding the comedian AJ, while I do agree with you, I think that we would probably have to, look at it from another lens, because remember we were in a pandemic. We're still kind of like in a pandemic. So, people was not, getting money and income and stuff like that. So maybe if they did have life insurance, maybe the policy collapsed because they couldn't afford it to continue to pay out, the life insurance. I don't see anything wrong with the wife coming to social media asking for assistance. There's a lot of people that come to social media asking for assistance with medical bills, with, different issues. There's a lot of people that start GoFundMe, being that he is a comedian and he was known in, he was known. I don't see why would that be an issue with her asking, hey, look, if you all really love him, and if he did make an impact, like how Bow Wow stated, he made such a huge impact in his life, can you assist me with burial costs? And I don't think that there was anything wrong with that, And the other thing is that I don't know if you remember a few years back, the guy that used to be on the Cosby Show, where when the whole situation happened with Bill Cosby, they removed the Cosby Show off of air, so they were no longer getting their residuals like they were getting. And he ended up having to work at Whole Foods. And remember, someone took a picture and then they tried to clown him and stuff like that. So it's not like as if it does not happen to where people, that you probably would look at and you would think that they would have money will fall down on their luck. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember it 100%. And he went to Whole Foods and everything. Like, we know we have ups and downs, but let's be clear. If you can't make it in doing stand-up, go get your regular job. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just saying it for anybody. If it's a two-person household, if money looking funny doing stand-up, get your regular job. Uber Eats, Uber, Lyft, or whatever, to make ends meet. What I'm saying is, let's not get him out. This is for anybody that think GoFundMe is the way to go, because they think that's a replacement of having life insurance, and it's not. You have to invest in that. Make sure you put some money away, because we all going to transition one day. What I'm saying is, make sure you have and put some way to have some life insurance. That's for everybody. But don't expect, because if you don't have it, don't expect people to just go in their pocket and give to you, because that may not happen. You may not get that person to go to your GoFundMe and put that money in there. I've seen cases like that where they couldn't find it. Just like the other man and I'm going to say this, he went viral. Remember the one that said, knocking on your window, had your kids, had your wife. His mother passed. What did he have to do? He had to go to GoFundMe. TMZ had to pick it up just for people to donate. Again, you have to invest in life insurance. I'm going to keep preaching that because that's the correct financial decision that you can make for your family. Go ahead.
Right. And I agree with you. But, like I said, and again, remember, we were just in the pandemic. We don't know people's financial situations, having to, pay bills. Remember, a lot of people was unemployed. A lot of people lost jobs. So there could have been a multitude of things. You even have a lot of people that was evicted. So, life insurance would be second if you have to keep a roof over your head, keep lights, keep food on the table, and stuff like that. But you really don't know, when you will transition. However, there are other things in life that, that may play more of an important role, such as having a roof over your head, food and stuff like that, opposed to having life insurance. But I get your point. The other thing is the whole the guy you were talking about, Omni. I don't think he should get 500 and something years. I think that that's ridiculous. I mean, I think that that's way too freaking excessive. Like, that's not even no one's lifespan. You know what I'm saying? So to even think that he could be potentially facing a maximum of 500 and something years is crazy extreme and ridiculous. The Nicki and Kenny and Natasha thing. So I think we spoke about this, and I listened to Tasha today, and she did, make it a decision and kind of like stood on, Nicki should have never got with Kenneth and so on and so forth. But then she still kind of like, went after Jen, and basically she said that Jen and this guy Black was in cahoots together, and they plotted and they made this plan to try and get money from Nicki. I don't know if you heard that part, like as if they were trying to blackmail Nicki.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Okay.
Yeah, that's something that she was saying, and I think that would be problematic, because if it comes out that that's not true, like, Jen can sue Tasha for defamation of character.
I think Tasha will not.
Defaming her and slandering her. Like, I thought that was really, really problematic for her to say that. This whole thing is kind of like problematic, but I guess we'll see what goes on with that when it comes out in court. The other part that she touched on was the whole Karen Civil and the Jason Lee thing. She didn't acknowledge the fact that Karen Civil admitted to hiring a hacker. She admitted to a crime, which is illegal. So regardless of all of the BS that Jason Lee may have done, it still does not constitute to the fact of Karen Civil committed a crime by hiring a hacker to take down his account and cost him hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is a crime that she committed. And this is why I say, what I'm saying, like what Tasha was saying is like, okay, all of these people from YouTube is about to get together to sue him. Now, don't get me twisted. I'm not a Jason Lee fan, because I think that he's said and has done a lot of problematic things in the past. So, but she's saying that like all of these YouTubers are about to get together to sue him and possibly file charges on him. And so then it brings us back to Jason Lee should go full throttle with this whole Karen Civil situation, because at some point, men are going to have to start standing up to women, because it don't even make any sense. Because that whole hacking stuff is illegal. She admitted it, that it's illegal. So I don't understand how Tasha gets on her platform to try and justify it and basically insinuate, if you go this route, this is what we're going to do. I'm already getting it together. We have all of these people that's coming together, and they're about to sue you. They're about to take you down. Like, what?
We shall see about
That
that.
didn't make any sense. And then even about the Joyner Lucas, like she acted like 60K wasn't nothing, like what she was supposed to do. What do you mean what she was supposed to do? She was supposed to do what he hired her to do. She didn't do nothing. So he has every right to you know what I'm saying, say something about it. It doesn't matter when he decided to speak out about it. He spoke out about it. So what do you mean that, like, oh, like he's supposed to just took that 60K on the chin and just, you know, charged it to the game and left it like that? Like, that didn't make no sense. So a lot of the stuff that she said didn't make no sense. The last thing I want to talk about is, you know, Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, okay? You made a comment, and you said that his attorneys didn't do a great job. I think his attorneys did an awesome job, especially with what they were allowed to do, because the judge was extremely biased in the case. The judge definitely was more favorable to the prosecution side. Now, as far as the compare and contrast to the whole Martin Luther King, when he made that statement, he was talking about how Martin Luther King fought for civil rights and how he fought for the Constitution to be upheld. And him saying that is him comparing that to R. Kelly. R. Kelly is fighting for his constitutional rights and the Constitution to be upheld in his case, because his constitutional rights was violated from the whole start of this whole case. This case only exists because of a documentary. It doesn't exist for anything else besides a fabricated documentary. Every single accuser that testified on that stand got caught in lies and admitted that it was not being truthful. So he's not on trial for things that he may have actually done. He's on trial based on a fabricated documentary. Nothing more, nothing less. No police reports, no missing person reports, no abuse reports, no nothing. So this particular trial, I can guarantee you this. God forbid they come out. First and foremost, it's not a RICO. I don't know if you understand what RICO is running a criminal enterprise. You can't run a criminal enterprise if you don't have entities to run that with. R. Kelly is standing alone. There is no one else that is on trial with him. If he was, in fact, running a criminal enterprise, meaning he had people to go out and get people to bring them back so that he can abuse them, so that he can lock them up in cages, and so that he can do this, and these people was well aware of it, those people would have been on trial too. That didn't exist, because everybody that the government put on the stand said that they didn't see anything, that he treated these women like royalty, that these women was able to come and go as they pleased. They all had cell phones. There was food provided. No one was locked up in no doors. No one was not. So the government witness fell through. And so what does the judge do? Because the judge knows that a RICO does not fit this case, nor does a Mann Act fix this case. What she does is she allows the government, when it's time for the jury to go in to make a deliberation, she allows the government to change and modify the charges to try and fit their narrative, because it's not a RICO. So I'm just giving you some education, but God forbid, like say for instance, if they come out and they say, okay, well, he's guilty, I can guarantee you that it's going to be overturned, that once it goes to the appeal court and the appeal court reviews this case from its entirety and review a lot of the stuff that the judge did illegally, a lot of corruptness, a lot of foolishness that happened in this whole trial and this whole case, I can guarantee you, because based on what they charged him for, he is not guilty on none of the stuff that he charged him for. That whole Lifetime documentary was all lies, and it's going to come out. So I just want to tell you that. I know people don't believe it, but and we shouldn't even want to allow the judicial system to play with our people like that, because if we allow them to do it to R. Kelly, then that's setting the precedence for all of our men to be able to just go down because somebody said that they did something to them and they don't have any proof or no evidence or nothing. So this whole case is going to set the precedence for a lot of other stuff. Depending on if R. Kelly win or lose this case, it's going to set the tone for a lot of stuff, and you're going to see a lot of things that's going to be coming down the pipeline with this case. So I think it's important that people kind of like get up to speed. I know a lot of people don't care. A lot of people have written him off. But I think that it's important. Like, if you really want real justice, you should want whatever it is that he's being charged with, you know what I'm saying, for it to be accurate and to be accurately proven in court, not just because you feel he's guilty, not because you feel he did something in the past. So he should go to jail for these fictitious crimes that these women alleged that he did that was not proven in court. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that, you know, we're really missing the mark on this whole case. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is at the end of the day. Let's just see what happens come Monday, Tuesday, because this is so weird. Like, the jury is allowed to go home for the weekend. Like, they supposed to be, you know, in court, like you know, deliberating. This whole case is so weird.
So what I think by Monday we would know if he's guilty or innocent. Probably a verdict either Monday or Tuesday. I believe we should get something, and we will cover it. And I definitely want you to call back in. A lot of people are saying that he's guilty, but you're one of the ones.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying that he's guilty because, you know, they only going based off of what the media put out. So if they're not like on YouTube, on channels that are reading the transcripts from an unbiased perspective, or if they're not physically at the court to see what is happening in the court, then of course they're going to be like that because they're relying on the media to put out what's going on in the court. And of course the media is only putting it out from a one-sided perspective. They're not putting out, you know, how these women fumbled the block on the defense side and how they got caught up in cross, how Azriel, you know, got caught up and how, you know, she said, you know, her parents did this and her parents did that. And, you know, a lot of the stuff they don't know because, like, even with the whole Martin Luther King, you notice that people on the blogs only put out the MLK, but they didn't put out the part where when his attorney did that, right? Where his attorney also compared R. Kelly to Hugh Hefner, where he said that Hugh Hefner lived a playboy life, and that's the type of lifestyle that R. Kelly was living. They didn't put out like the whole daddy thing. So, you know, they're saying, okay, he had these women call him daddy. The judge would not even allow his songs in court where he got songs that says daddy's home. Usher got songs that says, R. Kelly got songs that say come to daddy. All this, you know, it's so many different daddy, mommy, poppy songs. The judge would not allow that type of stuff. But anywho, when his attorney was making his last and final points, when he compared him to MLK, he also spoke about, he compared him to Hugh Hefner in the playboy lifestyle Hugh Hefner lived. And then he also said Mike Pence says his girlfriends used to call him daddy, as well as Mike Pence calls his wife mother. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't highlight that part either. So it's a lot of stuff that is going on in the trial. Again, people would not know, but I just want to let you know, like, you know, the attorney has done a great job as far as with the constrictions that the judge has allowed. So we'll see what the outcome is come next week. But I'm hoping for a not guilty verdict, and it's for R. Kelly.
Thank you so very much. Okay. Wow. Thank you. We're going to go to the next caller here. 646-716-8447. 9867. You live on air.
Oh my God, Wiley. I had to call back in because I heard the R. Kelly publicist, and I'm like, I'm certain she's going to talk about R. Kelly. And lo and behold, she did talk about R. Kelly. I have never met someone who is so invested and to someone who doesn't know that you exist. Just like, and then trying to make scenarios for us to believe that he's not guilty. And not only that, say that his case will make a precedent. There are several cases out there that already exist where white women have accused black men of doing the R and have paid for that, right? We all see when it came to the 5 dudes from New York. Remember the case that came out a couple of years ago of them murdering a white lady and they all went to jail? That happened. There are real justice issues. R. Kelly is not one of them. He has money. He has power. He abused that power. He got caught up. This is nothing that you want. You shouldn't even want to die on this hill. You shouldn't even want your voice attached to this type of stuff, right? Like I don't know if there's like a cult of black women who's out here just believing that R. Kelly is innocent, but it's so weird. So when she said the case is weird, I find it weird for women to cape for a guy like this who have a history of abuse. With that said, she also mentioned, like, not everyone can afford life insurance and stuff. Prioritize, okay? Like, everyone needs health insurance, life insurance. If you have car insurance, okay, and you ready to push your car through, baby, that's an inanimate object. You need to have health insurance and you need to have life insurance. And this is like a celebrity. So we can't conflate regular people with celebrities who had the means to get life insurance but want to ball until they fall and then realize, oh, snap, I didn't prepare. That's poor planning, and this is a problem within some of the black communities. But I'm sure when the new Jordans drop, I'm sure when a new bundles drop, I'm sure when other things that don't matter, that don't have value drop, people are in line. But for a little bit of a life insurance, you can't afford. The other thing is the earlier you get life insurance, the cheaper the premium is because they're not going to ding you for all of the health stuff that you have. As you grow older, the premium starts to increase because now you have a lot of health issues. That's from day one. So I don't know what needs to happen on a collective, but again, if you are a celebrity, you cannot act broke fight broke people. And I'm not saying I'm broke just to be broke. I'm saying compared to a celebrity, you had the means and you failed that. That is not my responsibility. That's on you. And you can't blame someone.
All right, so I think I'm gonna bring her on. I don't know if that's her. Anonymous, is this the same caller?
Yes, this is Wiley.
Okay, go ahead, voice, and then let her respond. Go ahead, voice. What was you saying? Your last point?
Okay, because I was gonna go into the politics stuff, so we can have the caller talk about her infatuation with the R. Kelly case. Go ahead, publicist. Go ahead.
Okay, so first and foremost, I'm not about to argue or debate with you. I only called in because you made a statement as far as, me calling in, defending somebody that I don't know, that I'm not going to ever meet. Well, I think everyone that calls into this show is talking about a celebrity that they don't know, that they may not never meet. So I think that was an asinine statement that you made. I don't have to know anyone to feel like some sort of injustice is being done against somebody or somebody is right versus somebody is being wrong. I'm giving my opinion based on not only what the media is putting out, but based on the facts and things that I have followed. You have not followed the case, so you're only speaking based on a media perspective. So you can't come and try and cast judgment on me someone that has been following the case and is talking about things that has not been made public or people do not know because you have not been following said case. That's what I call back in to say, like, I don't get your point. Like,
so what I'm saying is that you're defending someone who has a past history of abusing women as well as men, and in your mind, you have already implicit bias. So I don't care what the case is saying. We all know sometimes some cases I feel like you're using the documentary as a scapegoat in order to excuse what R. Kelly has done for years. And you're the same person that said you wouldn't mind if your daughter slept at R. Kelly's house. You said you wouldn't have any qualms with that. And I find it very problematic because he needs to be held accountable. You and the cult that's following this case, are you a lawyer?
Okay.
Publicist, are you a lawyer?
Whatever credentials I have, I mean, that has nothing to do with anything. You gonna let me talk or you gonna talk? I'm not about to. You gonna let me speak or you want to talk?
No, go ahead.
Because we can't talk together.
No, I agree. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me respond to you. First and foremost, like the last time when we spoke, you keep talking about a man that has abused women. R. Kelly was accused of marrying Aaliyah. R. Kelly was accused of pissing on somebody, right? Now, from the alleged marriage, from the alleged tape, tell me from that time, and I think that trial was in 2008, from 2008 up until 2018 or 2019, what have you heard about R. Kelly as far as abusing anyone? You haven't heard anything prior to a documentary.
R. Kelly has not been making much music, but that doesn't excuse his behavior for all the trauma that a woman has experienced under his spell. And again, we cannot say when is the right time for a victim to come forward. You're making it seem like, oh, because nothing happened in 2018, we can't hold him accountable for what years happened. If someone can be charged, no matter how long ago it is, pull those charges on him. No, there's no alleged. He did marry Aaliyah. There's no alleged. You don't find it problematic in the interviews when they were all dressed up together and she was like, that's my little friend? You don't find it weird that the songs that you're now playing with R. Kelly seems like she's ready, ain't nothing but a number by Aaliyah, that doesn't creep you out? Like, I can't even listen to his music anymore because every time I listen to it, I'm thinking, was he talking about an underage teen? Like, you don't feel that type of unsettlement as a woman? I find that weird that you're really out here caping, no matter what the case is saying, for you caping for someone like R. Kelly. Like, and you're trying to conflate the idea and stated this will set precedents. Precedents of whom? Like, a regular black man don't have the resources Kelly has, don't have the power that R. Kelly has. There are real cases out there where men were accused, okay? And because they couldn't have the best attorneys, they are in jail right now. Those I agree with. But you are using someone who has power, who abused power, someone who just got popped, and they did a documentary to open those gates, and sometimes it takes that, and to justify his action. I find that weird. To me, I find that weird.
Okay, and I find everything that you just said weird because, for one, he did not marry Aaliyah. It came out in court. But, again, you would not know that because you was not in court, and nor are you following this trial. For two, when you talk about the sex tape, he was found not guilty. For three, in this particular trial, there was no tape, no police reports, no type of reports, no type of nothing. So you keep stemming upon allegations that has already been proven not to be true. So now, what else is it that you want to hold R. Kelly to the cross for? Because it's just allegations. It's rumors and it's allegations. But it's not something that has been concrete and something that has been proven in the court of law. The Aaliyah marriage came up in court. It was found that they did not get married. There was never anything that was filed against the court. R. Kelly did not pay for no ID. All of this stuff just came out in court. So you keep talking about a marriage that never really existed. And as far as them dressing alike, do you understand that Aaliyah and R. Kelly was both signed to the same label, was both managed by the same people? You know that managers do that, right? Do you remember the manager that was managing B2K, where he had all the boys in the bed with no underwears on, had them all in the beds with no underwears on, had them stripped down to their boxers and stuff like that? Do you remember that? And as far as the song, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, what about Monica? Monica started singing about sex when she was 16. Tevin Campbell, all of these people, when you're talking about people from the 90s, go and listen to their music. Tevin Campbell song, Break It Down, I Don't Want Nobody Else to Hear the Sound. He was 16 years old when he came out with that song. This love is a private affair. Interrupt the flow, no, they better not dare. He was talking about sex. So what is you talking about?
But it's different when it's a tangible experience. Now that we know, a grown man should not want to dress like an underage teenager and say, "That's my little friend." That interview was
okay, but what you're talking about is a grown man that was managed by the same manager as that individual that was putting out that imagery. Remember, these managers, these stylists, these people are the ones that dress these celebrities, that takes these pictures and put out certain imagery. Do you think Amarion and BBK wanted to walk around in boxes and be in a bed together? No.
I don't want to dress like a little young teen and make people seem that we're married. And did you see that they did have a marriage certificate available when it comes to that? And people can be paid off.
It came out in court that it never happened. They bought the person from Vital Statistics. It came out in court that it never happened. It was fake. So now what's next? The marriage did not happen. Aaliyah was never pregnant. What's next?
How do you know? There's a lot of things people can cover up.
It came out in court. Do you comprehend? Court. It came out in court.
And also, you're mentioning, he wasn't found guilty with a urination. Let's not act like videos can't be changed. Let's not act like he could just say, because the video spectacle is not good, it's not me. We know he did it. So you're brainwashed.
Okay, do you know the age of the person? Okay, so if you're saying that he did it, right? Do you know the age of the person that was on the tape? Can you tell the age of the person that was on the tape? Do you know how old that person was that was on the tape?
Of the whole ordeal that I even watched the tape, because that's child pornography. So
how are you talking about something that you didn't even watch? But how are you speaking on something that you didn't even see for yourself with your own two eyes?
I don't see a grown man like R. Kelly.
Okay, so then how are you going to say that a grown man pissed on a child if you didn't watch it with your own two eyes?
Okay.
You just taking hearsay.
I'm not going to sit there and watch a tape of someone that's being abused by an abuser.
Okay, so you just going to take hearsay that he pissed on somebody that was underage. Okay, so you took that hearsay, right, that he pissed on an underage, right? Now, guess what? R. Kelly went to trial. R. Kelly went to trial for it, right? He got found not guilty. He got found not guilty. Are you still holding on to this alleged tape where he allegedly pissed on a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old girl that you never seen?
Yes, I am, because R. Kelly is known to be an offender, and I'm not going to excuse a person who's known to be an offender.
How is he an offender if he was never found guilty of anything?
I don't see a lot of people. You're making it seem like someone's not found guilty. That doesn't mean he did the crime.
That's not what I'm making it seem like. What I'm saying is that you want somebody that is accused of something to go to trial, right? He went to trial for it. The jury of his peers looked at it and said, "Hey, I don't think he's guilty on it," and they found him not guilty on it.
They were paid off. Things happen in Hollywood.
God.
They were paid off. And you never answered the question.
You're clearly delusional. I think you're just.
You're very delusional.
I just think that you don't like men. I don't think you like men. You might have a husband, but I really think you just in this deluded mind of believe all women, and I just think that you just hate men.
I don't put on my cape and my pick-Misha for a guy like R. Kelly. But I love black men. I'm sure
you don't have to.
But I'm not
But you don't have to. It's not even only about R. Kelly. It's about a black man, period.
No, he's a black man that did harm to black women. Let's make it clear. And we know a lot of black men have done harm to black women as well as black trans women. And I'm not.
Do you have? Okay, which black woman has he done harm to?
All the black women that came forward.
Were you here to women?
Were you part of his whole
You are clearly delusional.
At all. I'm not. You're sitting on there looking at conspiracy theorists and putting this in your mind like, oh my God, R. Kelly is. So was Harvey Weinstein?
You said all of the women that came forward.
Yes.
So all of the women that accused him of things that they when they got on the stand was found to not be true. You're saying that he really abused all of those women that got caught up on cross-examination, right? That R. Kelly gave $75,000 to, pay for vacations, pay for trips, pay for birthdays, pay for all of this other type of stuff. All these women had iPhones, iPads, MacBook Pros was traveling, able to come and go as they please. So you saying that you believe all of the accusers from surviving R. Kelly that says that they was chained, they was locked up, they was starved, they had to piss and boo-boo in bags on buses. But when they got in court, none of that stuff ever happened.
All right.
They didn't say the same story when they got in court.
Oh, so thank you.
Like I said, you still never
Okay.
answered the question.
Hold on one second. We gotta get your closing.
Your question with
All,
that.
all right. So both of them got it together. I don't think y'all gonna be able to resolve it. But thank
Wiley, I wanted to ask
thank
your
you both.
opinion on the Kamala Harris and where the
Peace
Democratic
out, Wiley, and
Okay.
it's still free R. Kelly.
Okay. Well, okay. Go ahead with your last statement, voice. What was you saying?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Wiley. So moving on from that, with this whole Kamala and where we're going with the Haitians and stuff, Kamala could have still split up because she's Caribbean, right?
No, she can't.
Her
She
her
is the
father's from
vice.
Jamaica.
She is the vice president. She have to do what her boss, who is President Biden, they have to stay on message. She can't go off of message. That would be great in a perfect world, but she's a politician and she have a future that she want to run in the next 4 years or maybe 8. So she can't go against what Biden is preaching. They have to preach the same message. She may in private believe that Biden should do more to give asylum to Haitian immigrants or to Haitian migrants, but she is his, she's second in command. She's not in the seat of the most powerful position. She's the second most powerful person, but she don't really have power. This is all on President Biden, in my humble opinion.
But we know it's a racial issue, though, right? Because if you can accept 100,000 Afghanistanis or Afghans,
Of course.
you can accept 10,000 different people, right?
Of course.
And I feel like this is going to hurt the Democratic Party even further, because now I'm Caribbean, and to see this happening to black immigrants is very problematic. So, right now the Republicans are trying to find a way in order to, because now what they're going to see, Republicans are going to be like, hey, Trump, like we should have closed the borders down, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think we're going to win the House when we have to do re-election. I feel like right now we're not getting anything done, and we have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. I don't know what Biden is doing, but I feel like this is going to be a new shift when it's time for like mid-year elections if they don't get it together.
Absolutely.
Because they're I feel like this is a big problem, and this is going to be brought up.
Thank you. All right. Thank you
You're
so very
welcome.
much. Voice of New York. Okay, we're going to go to the next caller. 6705, caller, you on air.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the Wiley Show.
Hello, Wiley.
Hi.
I just want to speak to that caller that was supporting R. Kelly like it was her last bread and butter.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to know, what is she going to do on Monday when he's found guilty? Like, I don't know what case she's been following, but this man is guilty. And I'm pretty sure he's guilty of a lot more things than they can prove in court. I've been keeping up with another YouTuber who has been going through all of the documents every day, the different testimonies that's on trial. His lawyers doesn't even have any witnesses to put on the stand. Nobody's to corroborate what R. Kelly has been not doing all of these years. I do believe that the documentary has, some women on there that may not be telling the whole truth, but he's definitely guilty of a lot of the things he's been accused of. I don't know what trial she's watching, but he did marry Aaliyah. It is possible, more possible and likely, that he did get her pregnant. And listening to her made me feel sad for her. Like, is she blind or something? Like, what is she not seeing? And she said that she believed her child along with R. Kelly. Like, what? What is we not in the same world or what? Like, I don't feel bad for him. Like, I don't feel bad for him. I feel bad for so many young women. And the girl on that tape was 14 years old that he pissed on her. She was 14 years old. You can even look on that child's face and tell that she's a minor. Her boobs was not even big enough for her to be having sex. So I don't know. Yeah, that just really blew my mind to see somebody defending him in that kind of way. Another black woman, she sounds like she's black. I don't get that. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, that's all I had to say. I just feel bad. I'm glad when my dick is here so that, they can do whatever they're going to do, the jury or whatever. But I feel bad for her. Like, was she planning on writing him while he's in jail? Because he's not getting out. Ever. I don't think so.
All right. Well, we thank you so very much.
All right, thanks for taking my call. I enjoy your show.
Thank you so very much for calling in. Okay. If you all can do me a favor and follow us on Twitter at Wiley Show. That's WILEYSHOW. And you can tweet us on Twitter. And you can hashtag The Wiley Show. So again, follow us on Twitter. We're going to do the after show on Station Head. We want to say special shout out for that. So we're going to keep the conversation going on Station Head if you want to follow us. Okay, I can drop that link to you guys. Give me a second for y'all can do it so y'all can follow me on Station Head. Give me a second. I'm going to drop it. All right, we can play music over there. It's a whole lot that we can do over there on Station Head. Okay, follow me on Instagram. Thank you also. Leave us a comment. Like the button. If you have not liked the video, like the video. Thank you so very much. This was a great show. Okay, thank you so very much. Y'all was able to hear the callers. Make sure you like the video when you hit that like button. Thank you so very much for that. Follow me on Instagram at Wiley Show. Follow me on Twitter at Wiley Show and all social media, The Wiley Show. Follow us over there. Right there, that is where it's at. Okay, let's see. I think we're going to take this last caller, and that's it. Anonymous, you live.
Not guilty. Okay? Free R. Kelly. Not guilty. Have a good night, Wiley.
All right, good night. Okay. Oh my gosh. What? Is we really going to do this right now? What? Is we really going to do this?
Exclusive. That's right. Bringing you the best in politics and celebrity gossip. This is The Wiley Show.
Y'all need to listen to that, okay?
Don't stop. Keep it going.
Okay. Thank you all so very much for calling in, man. On that note, we gotta go. On that note, we gotta go. Okay. Talk to y'all later. Make sure y'all leave us a comment, thumbs up. Thank you all so very much. Talk to y'all later. Peace. See y'all over there on Station Head. Bye, y'all.